Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to another video on Conqueror's Blade. So, we have had a little bit of an update, some quality of life changes, or some changes that are going to be coming for Season 9. So I wanted to kind of dig into them briefly, give my opinions on them, have a little bit of a run through what's going to be changing, whether it's kind of a positive or negative change. So, first up, hero skills. And this really kind of sets the tone for the whole article, really. And I have flipped through both the article on my games, on the version I'm playing, and also on the Frontier version. And actually, they're pretty much the same article. There's normally some differences between the two, but they're pretty much the same. So they're getting rid of skill pages. I was going to, when I was reading this, it made me think back. So when I started playing the game, years ago now, skill pages were the most sought after thing in the game. There was none for sale on the market. As soon as one came for sale on the market, it was like sold in like a second. And I mean literally a second. You couldn't click on it to buy them quick enough because they just weren't available and no one could get ultimate skills. And it was a massive problem. It took them ages to rectify it and the economy to sort of eventually pick up. And now they've got to the point where they basically weren't being used at all, and so not long ago they got all converted from, longsword skill pages, glaive skill pages, maul skill pages. Not more skill pages are another thing, but from individual weapon skill pages into a single skill page item. And now they've basically decided just to scrap that altogether and let's just go with mastery points. Fine, yeah, don't have a problem with that. That kind of makes sense. It's going to make it easier for newer players to unlock ultimates and competitive skills on their classes, which, we have enough advantages as experienced players. Let's give the new guys actually an easy way of unlocking their proper hero ults. So I all get that, all good for me. It says there's going to be a skill page exchange event. Players can change all previously spent and all currently owned skill pages to attire chest mastery points, bronze coins, unit medals, or honour. Which again, sounds pretty good. I think by this point, I must have spent a fair few skill pages. I've still got like 300 in my inventory or something, so we can get some unit medals, which is what's needed, because then we can skip a little bit of levelling on the new Season 9 units. So, yeah, absolutely fine with that. Then we go on to changes to the honour and unit trees. So, we have had this done once before, probably almost a year ago now. It used to be the case that, for example, unlock Iron Reapers, you had to go through an insane amount of what they're calling attribute nodes to be able to unlock them. And it meant you needed an insane amount of honour, and you really, really had to grind an awful lot to get there. And then they adjusted it so that you didn't need to get, all the honour trees in the Imperial Spear Guard, all the honour trees in the honour nodes in the Imperial Pike Guard, and they made it fairly easier. And it seems now they're going to be adjusting it again to make it easier again, so that they're going to be pushing those unit upgrade nodes, rather than being a requirement to unlock the next unit, they're going to be pushing them further down the line. So they're more like prestige nodes rather than what's going to be required to actually unlock the next unit. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I almost feel like it kind of doesn't matter. Let's face it, when we think today, they say gaining honour is one of the most prestigious things a warlord can do in Conqueror's Blade. Is it? Really? How many of the meta units are not seasonal units? I mean, they're almost all seasonal units now. How important are tech tree and honour units? Yeah, there are some, don't get me wrong, and, they are still worth unlocking, but realistically, it's the seasonal units that are the kind of grind wall and the grind challenge for new players. And making the honour tree easier, it's not going to make a massive difference, in my opinion. But equally, again, it's still making it easier, even if just a little bit for new players. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I can't quite work out. We don't get details of exactly what they're going to be doing. It would be nice if we got a picture of what's going to be changing. But it says we'll be getting basically honour reset tokens based on their current level. Return to players based on their character level. It's a bit non-specific. Well, we'll see what we end up getting, I think. I don't know if that means that they're going to be getting rid of some of the nodes, or, if you've got them unlocked and they're just moving them further down the tech tree, surely they'll just stay unlocked. I guess time will tell. So, crafting and schematics. This makes sense to me. It's been a bit of a, the crafting system in Conqueror's Blade has been a bit of a clunky system for quite a long time. And last season they changed hero crafting materials. They basically consolidated them so there wasn't quite so many different types, which made sense. Changed the name, changed the idea, and now they're just consolidating the schematics rather than having 4 schematics for uncommon armor types. Just going to have 1. Same with the rare armor schematics. Going to make it easier to craft because, well, I guess you're just going to have 1 fixed schematic rather than, say, getting a helmet schematic when you actually want boots or something like that. So, yeah, absolutely makes sense. It's going to make the biggest difference, at least to me, I would say, from the weapon schematics, because armor schematics, I've got like 100 rare armor chests now, which I can pick the schematic from. But the weapon schematics are the ones I'm kind of shortest on. Particularly after we had the pike season. I had some terrible crafting luck with that pike, so I got through a boatload of weapon schematics. So that would be nice to have them there. I noticed that they don't specify anything about the purple, like legendary schematics, or epic schematics, sorry. They got them for mount armor schematics, but they don't think they change them. All uncommon and rare weapon schematics, yeah. So I think epic schematics are still going to be individual. So they're the really rare ones, the ones you get like the top of the fame store, but you can only get 1 per season and that sort of stuff. So yeah, it looks like they're not going to be changing. But I suppose that's in a chest anyway, so you get the option to pick, so it doesn't really matter unless you've got one in an actual siege as a drop. But I'm like level 2000 and I've never had one, so they're not that common. Now this is a nice one. I like this one. Changes to personal history and unit training plans. With the release of Season 9, personal history and unit training plans are going to become 1 item. So currently, personal histories are pretty readily available. It doesn't specify if they're going to be... So you can get personal histories from the seasonal store, for example, with blades. I would certainly be buying them before the season ends if you haven't already, because they're going to become exactly the same unit as unit training plans, which enables you to reset the veterancy line on units. It doesn't specify, though, if this new secret training missive is going to be a sort of readily accessible seasonal item going forwards, or if it's going to become like a shop-only item, like unit training plans are currently a shop-only item. So you have to pay real money or sovereigns to get them, So, yeah, I'd stock up on any personal histories you can get your hands on, just in case. But that will be a good change, particularly if they are still readily available, because a lot of free-to-play players get the unit down the wrong veterancy line. God, I get the unit down the wrong veterancy line most of the time, and then you've got no way of adjusting it without spending money, so that'll be a nice change. And then finally, we come on to unit balance and leadership. They basically say that they feel 5-star and some 4-star unit leadership costs are too high, because it's effectively saying, you can't bring multiple units to your army. You can't bring a legendary into 4-star units, what it's basically saying. So they're going to be reducing leadership from 5 to 30. It doesn't specify which unit is getting which amount, but that's going to be happening across the board. I guess we're going to be looking at things coming down to sort of like Madao level. That'll be kind of interesting to see. They also go on to say that 5-star cavalry units are struggling in the current meta. Yes, that is true in some cases, specifically Keshigs and Cataphract Lancers. Yes, that is also true. The worry is they've never really seemed to be able to find a happy balance for 5-star cavalry. Keshigs particularly have always been a difficult one. They either sort of absolutely wreck or they're absolutely crap. There seems to be no middle ground. I guess Hussars are the only one that seem to have found a fairly happy medium in the current meta. So they did specify actually on the Frontier one, they put it in a better way. We will be gradually making changes to this. I hope that's how they do it. Given how difficult Tier 5 cavalry has been to balance in the past, slow changes. Let's just do a change a week. Just slowly change them across the season and let's see how they perform. We don't need to do great sweeping changes at the start and then leave it for 3 months. This is kind of what I was talking about in my Future of Conqueror's Blade video. So yeah, I hope the way they put it in the Frontier article is actually the way they're going to do it, and we're going to get more gradual changes across the season. Anyway, that's kind of what we've got. Hopefully we'll get a full set of patch notes before too long, because I'd actually kind of like to see what's actually going to be changing. And the season launch is only, what, 8 days away, so not actually that long to go. But anyway, I can't believe I've just talked for 10 minutes about like 1 page of text, so we will end the video there. But hopefully it's been enjoyable. Let me know what you think about these changes in the comments down below. I shall see you guys all on the next one.